everybody. It's the Nerds That Know, and we are back. I have been gone for at least a couple of weeks due to a bunch of other shit that's been happening. But I know that the Goon Squad has been keeping you all entertained, uh, joining us every week, and also part of My Brother's an Idiot. We have my brother Tank, the proprietor of Knox Nostalgia Collectibles. Will be at more shows and stuff, helping him sell things because that was fun.
That was fun.
Retromania was a good time.
Minus the blue yeah.
Well, other than the cold. Yeah. And then Tank's co-brother-in-law, the King Goon.
Hello.
And then my husband, who is apparently number 3 in my mom's heart, Gonzo.
Hi, guys.
And I am Duchess Bobby, and we are here to talk about a bunch of stuff. One of which is that it is completely unfair that my mom's 3 favorite children are all her in-laws.
Yeah, we're pretty sweet.
Yeah. And let's just say that it makes Tank poo because he's the number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes sense. Checks out.
So for those of you who pay attention to My Brother is an Idiot, because let me tell you, he is, but also the podcast, they often do games and quizzes and trivias and brackets and all sorts of other stuff. So I figured they are sharing our airspace. We are sharing their airspace. And basically the only difference between My Brother is an Idiot and this show, other than, primarily sports versus primarily nerd stuff, is replace me with MJ and the occasional Milty. So
we love you, Milty.
We do love you,
Milty.
We also love you, dipshit.
Yeah, she's all right.
She's all right. She went to that troublemaking class.
Yeah, that's coming up too.
Okay, so while I was thinking about what we could do for this, and it's something that we've joked about previously on the show over the last 3 years, is in an epic, battle royale showdown, who would win against these different cartoon teams. So I've put together a wee what's this? The thingy.
List.
Bracket thing. Look, I'm adorable. Fuck you. I just did something that was very difficult for me and my brain is turned off.
I'm adorable. Fuck you.
I learned that from your daughter, Tank.
This is a list.
No, I'm pretty sure that Julia taught everybody that. She probably tells her teacher on a regular basis. I know it's a list, but it was the bracket thing is what I couldn't remember.
It's a list on a piece of paper.
Shut your fucking face hole. Okay, So let's go ahead and kick it off. In Battle Royale Showdown, who would win, the Muppet Babies or the team from the 100 Acre Wood? Tank?
Well, I would lean towards Muppet Babies, I guess, on that one, just because they do still have Gonzo and Animal. So, and Eeyore's going to off himself somewhere, so it doesn't really matter. He doesn't count. All you really got on the other side is Owl eating people and Rabbit, I don't know, I guess stabbing people with carrots, potentially.
All right.
Which team from the 100 Acre Wood are we talking about? Are we talking about the cartoons
animated,
or are we talking about the horror film version where Piglet ate people? Because those fuckers animated. Are badass.
Winnie's a serial killer? Yeah.
Right.
That one's not animated, so it doesn't count as a cartoon.
So it's not that one.
No. Because those are people in weird costumes. similar to. Did anybody else watch the Winnie the Pooh that had all of the people in the costumes?
No.
Like it was a PBS thing.
No.
Oh.
Okay, because all of the characters were actually played by actors in costumes. It was
That must
fucking
have been
weird.
weird.
And I really enjoyed it, but I was like, fine. Okay, so who will win, Matt?
Yeah, if it's not the horror film version of Winnie and Piglet, then I'm definitely going Muppet Babies. Animal would just shred everything. Kermit holds the whole thing together. Scooter's the brains behind the operation. Miss Piggy would karate chop things. It's all Muppet Babies all the time.
Okay, love.
Well, don't forget about the nanny too.
Well, yeah, because she's just giant feet. She could step on shit.
Yeah, she's like God's legs. Just shows up in God's legs and smashes everything.
God's legs.
Fucking Godzilla. I love the team from 100 Acre Woods. I'm a big fan of Winnie the Pooh and all Winnie the Pooh things. I used Winnie the Pooh, the movie, for several brain-breaking purposes during the course of our relationship early. But the Muppet Babies would win because they have Gonzo.
All right, I'm pretty sure that's a unanimous Muppet Babies because I have to agree. Gonzo has the cannon. Animal has the insanity. Nanny will stomp on people.
God's legs.
Miss
So-
Piggy's violent.
Oh, yeah.
Was
He's a
Crazy
hell-
Larry? Was Crazy Larry ever a Muppet Baby?
No, Crazy
Does he-
Crazy Harry.
Oh, Crazy Harry.
Yeah,
Oh,
but he
and-
was not a Muppet Baby.
And
Okay.
neither was the Swedish fish guy, but
No, those are two different characters. There's the
No,
boomerang
I
fish guy
said.
and Swedish chef.
What did I say?
The Swedish fish guy.
Oh,
I
I'm tired.
actually think the Swedish Chef is in the new version of the Muppet Babies.
Well, I haven't seen the new version.
I haven't seen the new one, but the
Well, I have a 7 and a
Swedish
4-year-old,
fish
so I have.
Shut up. You knew who I meant.
Swedish
Okay,
fish
so
guy.
moving on.
He just throws red candy at people.
Those are a choking hazard for how hard they
Oh,
are.
God.
but they're fucking delicious and they're fat
They are
free.
delicious.
Goddammit,
Oh,
They're also free.
says so right on the box.
how
Fat
fat
free.
free? It's a fat.
Yeah,
free
forget about
food.
the fat and the gluten. It's just the
Yeah.
sugar.
Mhm.
Okay, next matchup. Animaniacs versus the Smurfs.
Oh, there's a lot of Smurfs. Do they get everybody?
Yeah, you get the whole Smurf village. But I don't think Gargamel counts because, he's not
He-
actually part of the Smurfs.
Yeah, he's not a Smurf.
Yeah, and see, I had a little bit of a beef with your list, Tank, because we talked about this. Pull back the curtain a little bit.
Mm.
You had the wacky racers on there.
Yeah,
They're not a team
why not?
because they all play against each other. They all race against each other.
There's teams. They're all made up of
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah, there's two teams.
But there's not two teams. There's bunches of teams.
I think it's like 8. Yeah.
Teams of two.
hmm
Therefore, not one team. Anyways, Animaniacs wins.
I think the magician nature of the Animaniacs gives them ample opportunity to pull out random sledgehammers and anvils.
And smash them. The little blue glue.
Yeah, I think the propensity for mass chaos and violence that the Animaniacs have, plus Yakko's got baloney in his slacks. That definitely he can smash Smurfs with the baloney.
This is true. And Dot knows how to fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
You
Also,
could have a Gulliver situation, though. Maybe.
Especially if we get Pinky and the Brain in there because then Brain will try to take over the world. And
well, are we talking about everyone
including
in the
them?
Animaniacs? Or are we just
No,
talking
I
about
was talking
Yakko, Wacko,
originally-
and Dot?
Yakko, Wacko, Dot.
Yakko, Wacko,
Yeah.
Dot, which is why I said
Okay,
if we were to have Pinky
Okay,
and the
got
Brain
it.
in there.
got it. Right. 'Cause
Well,
then you
they'll
got
be
the-
all over.
then you got the gangster pigeons you got to talk about, and there's
And
That's
that
an
girl,
automatic win. Yeah.
that hyper violent toddler. I can't remember her name.
Right.
The little blonde baby.
And Bill
Yeah.
Clinton plays the sax.
Oh.
And good idea, bad idea too.
Okay. Care Bears or the Gummy Bears.
Oh, Care Bears in a landslide.
Aren't Care Bears magic?
Yeah, and they got that.
do the
They
Care Bear
stare.
but the
Yeah.
Gummy Bears have gummy berry juice.
Yeah, but gummy berry juice wears out eventually, and they can't just be hopped up on gummy berry juice all the time, or else you'll turn into Jason Statham and your heart will explode.
Yep, but the Care Bears would just be all like, "We'll hug you instead of fight you," and the
Except for
Gummy Bears
Grumpy.
would be all like, "Fuck you, motherfucker!"
They just like bounce. That's all they do. The gummy bears they go boom,
And they
bounce.
get caught. They get caught in bear traps on Robot Chicken skits. So that
I love Robot Chicken.
I'm a gummy bear just living my holy fucking shit. Oh my fucking god!
All right,
That
so
would
we're saying
never-
Care Bears.
Care Bears in a
I
landslide.
think just because the
It's not even
magic.
close. Yeah, it's not even close.
Care Bear stare.
Yeah.
Okay, the X-Men or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Unfortunately, I think it'd have to be X-Men. As much as I love the Mutant Ninja Turtles, because here's the issue: they're Mutant Ninja Turtles, but their only mutation is the fact that they're giant turtles that know karate. Whereas, whereas the X-Men have actual superhero powers.
Now, do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Is it only the 4 of them, or do they get like Casey Jones and
No, it's just the
April
4.
O'Neil?
It has to be just the 4 of them.
I think
Like,
it's just the
it can
turtles.
only be
Yeah.
the X-Men and not the Brotherhood.
But there's
Yeah.
a lot of X-Men.
Not my fault.
Yeah,
the
and there's a lot of the
animated
Brotherhood
team.
that were in the X-Men. Oh, just the animated team.
Yeah,
You know,
animated.
all you need is Rogue running around touching things, and the Turtles have had it.
Give me Jean Grey all day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Rogue
Yeah.
and Storm were always my favorites.
Storm in the cartoons was great.
She
Yeah.
was such a badass. She was a goddess.
Yeah, she threw out the lightning and talked prose. It was awesome.
I don't know that the Turtles would be able to handle the psionic attack of Professor X. They wouldn't even get close.
True.
But can Professor X read turtle minds?
They're mutants. He can read any mutant's mind.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's true. That's true.
He wouldn't even have to leave the safety of the castle. He'd just sit there in the computer chair.
Just Cerebro and find
Yeah.
the mutants.
He'd sit in his game. He sit in his gamer chair behind Cerebro and just
His gamer chair.
Okay. Okay. The Planeteers from Captain Planet or the Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
All those little kids are just little kids who whine and put rings together. The power, and then they summon Captain Planet. And Captain Planet's pretty badass, but he's like Wimpy Colossus.
Captain Planet.
Yeah, but he's like like Wimpy Colossus, you know?
Right.
Right,
That's
wow.
absolutely that's absolutely the Powerpuff Girls.
Okay.
Anybody who can beat up on Mojo Jojo wins.
Yeah, that's
Fair.
true.
All right. The Peanuts Gang or Mystery Incorporated.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a fun one.
Okay, so you've got the Mystery Incorporated. It's a librarian, a preppy, a swimsuit model, a stoner, and his dog.
Yeah.
And
A
then you've
talking
got
dog, though.
well, I know.
mean,
What is his dog?
Do you want to include Scrappy Doo?
No.
Scrap?
No,
No,
fuck
Scrappy
Scrappy
Doo, they lose instantly.
Scrappy
Yeah,
Doo, a
Scrappy-
Magnum?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Scrappy is an abomination.
If Scrappy is included, they lose instantly by just being stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, like even if like the Peanut Gang tried to get like tricky and wore like disguises, whatever, the Mystery Inc. folks would ferret it all out. And oh no, it's Charlie Brown. I would have got away from it if it wasn't for you damn big kids.
They would have been chasing around Pigpen out the whole time because he looks like a ghost.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and Charlie Brown's ghost costume sucked. It had all of the holes all over it.
Does Shaggy get to go Super Saiyan?
No.
No? Okay.
No, sure, why not?
I mean, you give him enough weed, he can do anything. Oh, let's go,
All right.
Hurry!
So,
Well, essentially, it's a group of teenagers and a dog against a bunch of children. So,
Right.
and a dog.
yeah, I'm thinking
And they
Snoopy
have-
kicks
Okay,
Snoopy's
now hold on.
ass.
You might be onto something here.
Snoopy.
What
Hold on a second. We're
Snoopy?
changing things because
Hold on
I
a second.
forgot about Baron von Snoopy and
Right.
Baron von
Right.
Snoopy.
And
Yeah, they have air power.
Planes with
They
guns.
have a plane.
I think they might take
Planes
it.
with guns.
I think Snoopy is the deciding factor on that. If he goes Baron mode,
Yeah.
Baron von Snoopy and Woodstock, they win every time.
I think they
It's
got
not a
it.
script.
A
With
man in a
Snoopy.
plane. Baron
They got
von
air support.
Woodstock was his name.
That
Many men tried. Many men died.
flips the script on that one.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that did flip the script. I changed. It's
Mhm.
Peanuts because of Snoopy.
All right. So Peanuts gang. All right. Thundercats or He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Ooh.
It'd be a good matchup.
Thundercats. And it all comes down to Snarf versus the Wizard.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
but the
I can see that. Yeah.
Snarf is a much better comic relief than the Wizard.
Right. Oinkos
yeah,
or
but that
whatever
wizard
the fuck his name
goes all powerful in the new iteration of it.
Yeah, at
but
the
you
end.
also have the sorceress in Castle Grayskull.
is. Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
and Tila, who's just there to hump on He-Man.
But the Thundercats,
And they have Panthro.
yeah,
But then they have Man at Arms for the Masters of the Universe.
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna stick with my original thought and just say Thundercats because I really like Snarf. That's my whole reasoning.
You
I'm
know,
gonna
I
go
think
Masters of the Universe.
I'm
Prince
gonna
Adam.
go. I'm gonna go Thundercats because I think they are a. Oh, it's night time.
Love you guys.
Good night, girls.
Hi, girls.
Love you.
Good dreams. See you guys later.
Who else is there?
King Rami!
King Goon. King Gummy.
You already know that.
Dude,
I-
you have a new name.
I've been called worse.
Love you guys.
Bye.
I think the Thundercats are a more finely tuned fighting force because Mum-Ra and his gang were way more effective at causing mayhem than Skeletor and his group of bumbling idiots. So strategy alone, and I'm sorry, Lino's got the better sword,
Oh, all right.
Plus, they have Snarf.
and they had Snarf.
But He-Man has Orko.
Yeah, the wizard.
Yeah, that's the wizard.
Orko.
I think Snarf beats the wizard.
Okay. All right. Last one, and then we will finish this up next show when I reassign everybody. Simpsons versus South Park.
It's the
That's a good
Sims.
one.
It's South Park, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Man, they're much more violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're. I mean, Bart is definitely out there, and Homer's dumb enough to do anything, but there isn't a thing that those kids wouldn't do
Correct.
to win.
Plus,
Correct.
Kenny can always come back to life.
Right.
And
Kenny's
Cartman
immortal.
Cartman is like just
Wait.
plague of the earth, you know.
I was gonna say basically a little Hitler. Yeah.
Yes, and in fact, quite so.
Yeah.
A couple episodes.
All right,
Yeah.
so we will
it's really
revisit this next show to figure out who is the ultimate champion. But now we're going to get into some of the nerd news that's going on, starting with a review of the HBO show The Last of Us. We are 5 episodes?
We got the episode for this week.
4 episodes in, and Tank, thoughts?
I'm enjoying it a lot, actually, more than I legitimately thought I would. The relationship between Joel and Ellie, they're doing a good job of kind of putting that on the screen. And then the little detour we got with episode 3, kind of a slice of life in the apocalypse with Frank and Bill, was a endearing but sad story.
Oh my god,
I cried.
fucking heartbreaking. Oh,
Well,
He paused
King Gummy
himself. He probably has
disappeared.
to go potty.
oh.
Bye, King Gummy.
King Gummy.
Yeah, the Frank and Bill stuff. Holy crap, that was
I
absolutely gut wrenching.
so cried for that one.
She cried for like a good solid 10 or 15 minutes afterwards too. That was, whew. I mean, every time I was so happy that this episode this week was just a little bit lighter, because the last 3 episodes there have just been some moments that just rip your soul apart.
Yeah, definitely heartbreaking.
I was
Yeah.
happy
First
to have
thing.
an episode free of heartbreak and kind of a little little bit more lighthearted than the rest of them have been.
I really like that it's not a typical zombie apocalypse type of scenario. Right? It's like a fungus takes hold of you and you turn into this weird mushroom creature.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild. That they actually. I'm glad they gave us the backstory for that on. Was that episode 2?
Yeah,
When
that
they
was
did that?
two.
Yeah, they
When
did
they-
a really good job talking that up.
When they showed all
Mhm.
the way like the fungus goes and
Good
like-
catch.
and then it's all connected with like the underground system. Like it was very cool. What are your thoughts on it so far, King Gummy?
I am a notorious late adopter of zombie entertainment, so I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
There.
okay.
I don't have anything against zombie stuff, and I will catch it eventually. But for whatever reason, I always find something else that seems more interesting to me to watch.
So my parents are not zombie people. They do not like any of the zombie stuff. I think Dad would like Zombie Land, but that's just because of
Mhm.
the search for the Twinkies. But he and Mom started watching it after Tank, Mark, and I suggested it, and Dad has become like a diehard. He messaged us like right after he watched episode 3.
Yeah,
And some of the things that he said about it, I'm not going to repeat on air.
correct.
But
there was some phrases thrown out by like nut rubbing.
Mhm.
that was one of the phrases I wasn't going to repeat.
You opened the door. You should have known he was going to walk right through.
I know. Well, Mom is saying that she really likes it because I'm assuming that word is Mandalorian.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Have you guys seen all of the different memes about how like in 10 years all
Mhm.
movies will all shows will just be Pedro Pascal guiding a young magical child to their destination.
Including in Saturday Night Live skits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
That
is a
was
great
fantastic.
Oh my
That
God.
was awesome.
That was the best
so
thing
good.
Saturday Night Live has done in 20 years.
The,
was so
the
good.
Mario Kart,
Yeah, the Mario Kart.
fucking
So
amazing.
I
fucking
wonder how
Between
much
that-
money they spent on doing that.
I know.
One little skit.
That's what we were
So
saying
good.
too. Is like the special effects were actually pretty well done.
And there was it was good. It was quality
Yeah.
special effects.
It, like the comments on there have been like, I would rather watch this than the new Mario movie that's coming out.
Mhm.
But I would fucking watch that movie. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
What
It's
is the-
me,
What was
Mario.
that? Death Race vibes to it.
Oh yeah,
Very much.
Death Race. Very
You
good.
know? She's like, what happens if we go over the edge? This cloud comes.
With the fishing pole.
Picks you up.
Like, oh. Getting back to Last of Us, I like I said, I'm a late adopter. I have nothing against zombie stuff. I enjoy zombie stuff. I loved um, Walking Dead up until about a season and a half after they killed Glenn. And then it just, for whatever reason, it failed to keep my interest. Love Zombieland, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, old stuff, new stuff, seen it all, enjoyed it. But I don't know. There's other stuff I'd rather watch, and when I run out of it, then I'll probably get into that. I might just wait for the whole thing to because it's currently running, right? It's not fully released.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'll probably end up just binging the hell out of it or watching it on the treadmill or something. Oh, here comes.
Makes sense.
It's zombie stuff. That's a zombie. You can cut it. I don't. I'm guessing that's Mama Sue.
Probably
it's not quite zombies. It's fungus that takes over bodies. With that comment, I can't read it. I can't. It just says paired Facebook user. So I'm guessing because she also said the thing that I will never utter. Zombies are zombies. Doesn't matter how it starts, how it causes it. I mean, Resident Evil was a zombie thing. Day of the Dead zombie thing. It's all different reasons why they're zombies, but they're zombies.
I like the approach because it's the closest thing to what we potentially could have a zombie apocalypse from, because the cordyceps are innately a host or a parasite that kind of zombifies whatever it takes over.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, I mean it makes sense, and I appreciate that there is no one set zombie lore, that people can turn into zombies for a number of reasons. Like some zombies eat brains, some zombies walk really slow, some zombies, are apparently filled with fungus, Whereas like vampires are vampires. Like they don't like the sun, they drink blood.
You could make the case that vampires are zombies.
Absolutely.
they are technically the undead in their own way. So yeah.
So Dad wants to know if anybody has seen The Mayor of Kingstown.
That's the Jeremy Renner one, right? I've not seen
right.
that.
Nope, haven't seen it.
No, Dad, is that worth us watching?
I've heard it's good. I just haven't had the time to do it.
Yeah.
There is so much other stuff going on that is just not high on my priority list.
Right.
All right. However, there is a lot of other stuff going on. And one of those things is that we're going to be getting a bunch of new trailers dropped next weekend, or I guess this upcoming weekend, because the Super Bowl is in, 5 days?
5 days.
And during the Super Bowl, we'll be seeing new Marvel trailers. That creeped me out. Sorry, my earring fell out. And then I had something like crawling across my neck, and it was my earring falling.
It's a spider.
Scared the shit out of me.
It's a Carrie Piter.
Yeah, Carrie Spider. Carrie Dinosaur.
Carrie Piter K.
Carrie Dinosaur.
If it was a Carrie Spider, then I'd need to have like glitter body spray to kill it.
Did you ever hear
Still
that?
fire.
Mm-hmm.
One fucking sparkly dead spider.
But yes, as you were saying, we have a couple Marvel specific trailers dropping.
We'll
during the Super
have
Bowl.
we'll see the new trailer for Fast and the Furious 10, because apparently they just keep fucking driving. And The Flash. But then we'll also see new trailers for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Which I'm assuming that's going to be
and-
their final trailer.
Yeah, I would assume is so.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll also see the trailers for Guardians 3.
Which looks awesome based on what the very little we've had on that so far.
I was kind of secretly hoping for a Blade trailer. I know we're still a ways out,
Yeah.
but I haven't been this excited for a new intro in a while because I really want to see what they do with it. The original trilogy, I mean, you can kind of take 3 and flesh it, but the original trilogy was
I enjoyed it.
And
Yeah.
if you think about it, it really kicked off the Marvel big screen, financially viable tentpole movie, and proved you could do it in a rated R format before anyone was even like thinking about that being a possibility. Like if you don't have Blade, you don't have Deadpool. And
I hadn't even thought about that, but you're right.
Mahershala Ali is going to absolutely slay in this character, and I dare anyone to fist fight me to say otherwise, because I see so much online about, well, the only one you could have do Blade is Wesley. No, bro, Wesley was great. Wesley's too old now. It's time for someone else to play the character. Let's go. He is going to be amazing, and all you have to know is watch Luke Cage the first season, and you'll know everything you need to know about that guy's acting chops.
Oh yeah, him as Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth, yep,
crazy.
absolutely outstanding. I am excited to see these trailers for sure. I feel like we're not going to get a whole bunch more out of Ant-Man this time around. I'm purposefully staying off spoiler posts and YouTube posts about these things because I know they're already out there in the wild. You can see them if you want. So I genuinely would like to see them first on Sunday. Guardians 3 is the first 2 Guardians were amazing. I loved what they did with the holiday special and adding taking a Chachi kind of filler episode that had some holiday stuff to it. But they actually added to the story and the lore behind the Guardians and adding family into the mix, right? So I don't know how much more we're going to get. Maybe we'll get a flash of a different villain. Who knows? Something might pop up, and we already know Adam Warlock's coming, and I've seen a couple of pictures. He looks pretty good. We'll see how it all pans out, but the other one, and kind of deviating a little bit from the Marvel side, we're going to get another Transformers trailer, and that's going to be pretty cool.
I was thinking the same thing. That's one that I'm really excited about.
And this is the Transformer movie that Tank is super excited about.
Yeah. This is the one I've been waiting for 20 plus years.
Rise of the Beasts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I'm interested to see if the Flash trailer gives us any kind of look at what the new DCEU will be, or if this is going to be a standalone. I know that the new Batman movie, which we'll talk about in a minute, is going to be a standalone and not part of the cinematic universe.
Yeah, that's an Elseworld story. Same with the new Joker movie.
Right, but I didn't know, or I don't know if the Flash will be. I believe that they're trying to tie that back into the DCEU, the new one, but I don't know.
See, and based on my understanding, and then obviously I don't know what goes through James Gunn's head, but it seems like he's resetting after these last couple movies come out from what was the Snyderverse DCEU. So
I agree with that. I think this is going to be more along the lines of what we had before. I'm still shocked that they're actually going through with this movie based on Ezra Miller's antics. Like, how is this still a thing?
Antics. I think you need felony.
Antics isn't the right term.
Okay, call it what you will. They're still stupid, creepy, and illegal. How is this still going forward? Like, I don't understand. They had, and don't give me they spent a bunch of money. You know what? They spent a bunch of money on freaking Batwoman and they killed it.
Considering what they've cut to save money on, and they're still rolling forward with Flash, is wild.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. It's absolutely mind-boggling.
So We'll have to report back about all of the trailers that we'll see during the Super Bowl this weekend, as well as any other commercials. I know that the Super Bowl spots for commercials are not, in my opinion, what they once were, but are still highly sought after. But they're not like as memorable as they used to be.
Puppy Monkey
You
Baby.
get about one a year that's good. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
The Doritos ones have been decent the last few years.
But like you can't beat like the Budweiser frogs from how many years ago was that? Like 2 decades?
50 years ago.
And everybody still knows what that is.
See, my favorite one is the Puppy Monkey Baby still, so I don't know.
Puppy Monkey Baby was good.
Just because it was creepy and weird.
Right.
Tig does like the creepy and weird. That's why he married my sister.
Speaking of creepy and weird, and also Budweiser frogs, remember the Bud Ice penguins?
Oh,
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Those
this.
are the best.
You were talking about them recently.
Doobie doo.
Anytime I can mix in the Bud Ice penguins to the conversation. Doo.
I had a one of those frozen beer mugs that they used to make back in the day that had the goo in it that would freeze.
The
very
plastic
easily.
ones?
Yeah, the plastic ones. And I had one of the Bud Ice penguin, and you would push a button on it, and it would sing "Doobie Doobie Doo." Penguin.
I had one of those that actually had the goofy shit in the sides, like little penguins and stuff that you froze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the one I had.
Right. Budweiser Frogs was 25 years ago.
50 years ago.
I was close. I said 2
You were close.
decades.
You were close. The only reason I can put an actual date on it is because we hosted a Super Bowl party for Super Bowl 32, and we had prop bets that you could bet on the wall, and that was the year of the frogs versus the lizards. And people would put pin dollars to whichever one that they thought was going to win, and then the winners would split whatever the other side bet on. It was fun. But that was frogs lizards was winter of 98, 97, 98.
Okay.
Well, if it's frogs and lizards, then wouldn't have been a couple years before that because they had to build up the frogs and then.
Yeah, the frogs were a couple years before that for sure, but frogs lizards was 25. It's the 25th anniversary of 32.
That's funny.
All right. So we're gonna just ignore Mom's talking about the Super Bowl. The Batman, second Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. There was this big release. The title has been announced. You know what the title is?
Batman.
Tell us.
Batman 2.
No, wrong. The Batman Part 2.
Part 2.
Oh, excuse me.
The Batman. The Batman Part 2.
Most generic title ever.
I have to ask.
I'm sorry.
I
I think Plane.
Plane was probably the best one. Have you seen the trailer for Plane?
Oh, yeah.
I loved playing trailer.
Mhm.
That is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I have to ask.
take that movie seriously because of the title.
Right. I don't think you're supposed to. I have to ask Gold Lagoon how unexcited you are for a 2-note theme of a movie again. I about killed Tank.
Did you just snort soda?
Do we all remember? We all remember the rant you went on. I can't watch this movie because the soundtrack was 2 notes the entire time, and then Nirvana.
I sleep. I still have the pain. The pain.
Flames along the side of his face.
Flames.
Oh yeah. He was so upset about a halfway decent movie.
But Ben Affording should be Batman.
Afkek.
Afkek. No.
But he's going to be,
Careful how you say that, Matt.
he's going to be Batman.
Instead of the glittery vampire.
Right. The Affleck duck should be the next Batman.
Agreed.
Ben Sporting. Well, it's not even Batman. It's Batman.
That's what I said.
Bat,
Batman.
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 No, 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 Batman.
Batman is Batman's grandmother.
Batman.
Isn't she dead?
Yes.
Aren't they all dead?
Yes. That's the whole point.
Hey, Mama, that's not nice. They're not morons. They're idiots. That's the show tomorrow.
Yeah, get the branding right at least.
Come on.
Yeah, get the branding correct.
Keep up.
Keep up.
Okay. So we were talking about when all these different movies are coming out as far as the trailers during the Super Bowl. But when they do come into theaters, apparently there will be tiered tickets. So depending on where you want to sit in the theater, and not just when you go to the theater, you can pay different prices for better seating.
Which is stupid. Only because with most theaters already, you can pre-buy your exact seats. So
Yeah, but now you're going to pay higher for
but only for AMC apparently.
center
And
middle.
AMC put out a press release after they announced this saying, no, it's not a price increase. We're actually throwing out discounted seats for the ones that people don't want.
So
That's
the
how they're
super
spinning it.
upfront ones, you'll pay $1 less.
That's how they're spinning it.
It's
Uber
from a
promo
business
to the
model.
market.
It's pretty smart, right? You go to a concert, you're going to pay different prices for different seats. You go to a sporting event, you're going to pay different prices for different seats, depending on the experience and how close you want to be. I think the vast majority of the movie public in general doesn't care where they sit. Like we always sit every time Sarah and I go to a movie, it's a little bit higher up and it's always on an aisle. Always.
Right.
If Mom has her way about it, it's on an aisle. If Dad has his way about it, it's as close to dead center in the theater as possible.
Yeah, it doesn't. I could sit there too. It doesn't bother me as long as I'm not like the first two rows and I have to look like this the whole time. And I'm not interested in those seats, but anywhere else, I'm fine.
I guess if you're going to give a discount to those up front, like 3 or 4 rows, depending on the theater, makes sense. Might actually get people to sit there.
Neck pain discount.
It's not like it's going to be a tough system to implement. You know, they already have the automation in place. They just have to change the pricing in the website.
Right. And it won't be hard. Yeah, the code's already there.
Right.
Give them a matinee deal for weekend movies.
Yeah,
you
sure.
sit in the front row.
Yeah.
So, I mean, AMC is the first theater to roll this out, or first theater chain to roll this out. But we'll see if any of the others follow suit.
One does it, they'll all do it. Watch.
Yeah, it just depends on how successful they are.
Right.
See what sales look like in the first couple of months, and then they'll all be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they get an improvement, because aren't they hemorrhaging money still?
Probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to skip that one. I was going to talk about the Pink Ladies movie, but I feel like I'm the only one who gives a shit about that.
I
want to hear about it.
I was going to say you'd be correct. I don't give a shit, but
movie.
Carry on.
So for those of you who are unaware of who the Pink Ladies are, you've been living under a rock for most of your life. Grease, came out back in the 70s?
50 years ago.
Yeah, back when King Gummy was still a lad. And then we got Grease 2, because apparently Grease was not a good message, because it was like, hey, change yourself for someone else. And then in Grease 2, which was lovely. I enjoyed Grease 2. I thought the music was awesome. Maxwell Caulfield is super hot. And you got the song Cool Rider. But now we're getting a prequel to those movies. in a TV series that will be on Hulu called Rise of the Pink Ladies.
The trailer looks really good.
Which is, it's interesting. The concept is interesting. I'll give him
God!
that. Wow. I believe that's called a red lady, though. Not a pink lady.
Somebody take that as evidence before he deletes it. Somebody take a picture of that as evidence before he deletes it.
I believe that's not a pink lady.
I think the word you're looking for is French tickler, sir.
Screenshot.
Yeah. I got it too. I got it too.
Putting that in the group chat.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. We'll just go ahead and throw this in the family chat under funny things.
Save to photos.
Yep, already done.
You know what? Good for you.
I don't know if there's any coming back for that. Can we just move on from the big ladies, I guess?
No, because now if I go into the Fantastic Four, Dad's going to make a sex joke about that too. So,
it's clobbering time.
I quit. I'm running away.
Flame on.
Oh, come on. Everybody uses that one.
Oh, it's clobbering time.
You know it's good when Mark repeats it 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I repeated it.
Oh, it's coming back.
It's clobbering time.
I mean, might as well. Go ahead.
It's clobbering time.
And now my husband is broken.
You're welcome.
It's clobbering time. Okay. Carry on.
So take
Clobbering time. Sorry. I'll excuse myself.
You're the one who shared the information with us about the Nintendo Switch offering Game Boy games.
Yeah, with their premium subscription for their online service, the one that had the N64 games connected to it is now going to have a pretty extensive list of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on it. And I think that's like instantly, like now happening.
Will that include like Dr. Mario?
Let me pull up the list. I actually had it pulled up. Let me take a look real quick.
Because that was my favorite Game Boy game. We even had the Game Boy Color, and ours was pink. I'm pretty sure that it was like a hand-me-down from a neighbor or something, because I know my parents didn't buy it for us.
I don't think Dr. Mario is one of the ones we have for the Nintendo.
But like, I fucking love Dr. Mario. It's like, you know,
the list has.
Why don't you go and take lots of drugs?
Yes, as part of their expansion pass, which is just the upgraded online thing for the Switch. It's going to have, at launch, we'll have Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, Gargoyles Quest, Game & Watch Gallery 3, Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, Metroid 2, Wario Land 3, Kirby's Dream Land, Super Mario Advance 4, WarioWare Mega Micro Games, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. Plus, they'll be updating it with more and more games. They've already showed that they're going to have Metroid Fusion, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Fire Emblem Zero, or Fire Emblem F-Zero, and Golden Sun are also going to be games that are going to be added.
I
relatively
recognize Tetris and Zelda.
You don't recognize Mario?
Well, I know who Mario is, and I know the Mario games, but it's one of those I didn't realize that all of those were on Game Boy.
Yeah, that's all that's specific to Game Boy games.
I remember that there was a Zelda for Game Boy and Tetris. That of those games, I don't. God damn it, Mark.
Well, there is a lot of lesser known favorites that are being added in this list. That's
right.
awful.
I was saying Dr. Mario should be included, and Dr. Mario is not there.
Dr. Mario is actually already on there.
Was it on the Nintendo one?
NES
NES
classics. Yep.
When I had my Switch for that spin, I think I spent most of my time on the old game system emulators, because that one was, you had the NES, you could do any of the Sega stuff, and the Super Nintendo stuff,
yep.
and 64 games.
Well, now, yeah, they have the N64 games when they did the expansion thing, yeah.
Which was awesome. I spent most of my time playing all that old stuff.
They actually just added GoldenEye to the N64 collection.
Oh.
Which also got put on Xbox Game Pass because they own Rare.
And everyone's right when they say the best first-person shooter of all time is GoldenEye, because it is. But I have stronger memories with Quake. Running up a $200, long distance build.
No.
Yeah.
Online?
Yeah, he played Quake Online with me.
Oh my god.
And he lived in New Mexico.
Oh
Yep.
man. That was expensive, I'm guessing.
Our mother was not happy.
No, she was not. And you were there to take all of it.
Uh-huh. Link does the hokey pokey.
Oh yeah. So Mama's favorite video game, it doesn't matter which iteration it is, but it's Zelda. Mom thinks Link is the best ever. Has played every iteration of Zelda, including on the Wii, where you have to throw the grappling hook with the deal. But when we were stationed in DC when I was in high school, my boyfriend would come over to play video games with my mom.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
And he started going, look, when Link has all of his hearts, he can spin in the circle. And so he'd do the put your sword in, take your sword out, put your sword in, and you spin all about. And he'd make Link do the hokey pokey while he would dance and sing holding the controller.
That makes a lot of sense now. I can, as you're doing it, I'm doing it in my head, watching it. That makes a lot more sense now.
And this was, back on the Super Nintendo. And yeah, so
at least it was 16-bit and not 8-bit.
But my boyfriend would come over to play video games with my mom, and I'd be like, hey, do you want to go downstairs and watch a movie and cuddle on the couch? And he'd be like, no, we have to beat this boss. And I'm like, okay.
I've done that also. I helped Mom play Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions.
No.
So
none of this surprises me.
You read her the cheat code.
I didn't read the cheat codes. I read the instructions.
Those are two very different things.
Which are hey, if you go behind this rock, you can find a fairy. And not X, up, down.
okay.
Yeah, well, you know what? Shut up, Mom.
Was this show ever on the rails?
No.
Sounds like you did some rails, maybe, but no, not on the rails.
Oy vey. So the last thing I'm going to say before I go and pour myself a very stiff drink is that Genghis Khan is coming up in 2 weeks, and that is the board game convention here in the Denver area. It is the weekend of the 23rd or the 25th, I mean, because that would be the weekend. And we are going to try to be there. It is actually the 23rd through the 26th. So it starts Wednesday evening. I said that the other day and nobody understood my reference. Enough with the poodles already. But anyhow, Genghis Khan, we'll see you guys there maybe.
We'll try.
But it's very cool. Board games, the prices to get in are very reasonable. So definitely check that out. You'll find the link to Genghis Khan on our Facebook page, and we'll put it on our other social medias as well. And on that note, does anybody else have anything to say that is, I don't even care if it's relevant at this point.
Well, apparently we need to travel into Dad's past and find some pink ladies, but...
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't.
We have a motion and we have a second.
No. No.
All in favor? No.
Aye.
Christ. It's clobbering time.
It's clobbering time.
Okay.
No.
Mom votes no on the pink lady.
You know what's sad is that does sound interesting, but now I will never think of it and not think of Dad.
Oh God. Okay. King Gummy, give us your socials.
Make sure you check us out on all the social medias. You can find us at The Nerds That Know each and everywhere. You can find social stuff. The Idiot Goons. My Brother is an Idiot. It's the name of the podcast. We will be live tomorrow night with a special pre-Super Bowl preview along with some other news and notes around the world of sports. We promise not to go completely off the rails this time because we actually have an agenda.
They do not promise that. We had an agenda tonight too.
Never make that promise.
It'll be less off the rails than it normally will be. How's that?
I
Or
don't
than
know
it would
what
have
the
been.
agenda entails yet, so
Of course you don't.
At
Of
least
course not.
22 hours.
At least start thinking about a prop bet. Have something like that ready to go. Okay, I'll give you that much. I know you're not going to read it.
I'll read it eventually.
Stephanie Louise.
Why the random shot at Art Rogers?
Because it's your wife. I'm just gonna put money out there that that's who it is.
You can find us on Facebook. My Brother is an Idiot. Our Twitter is at the Idiot Goons. You can find us there on Twitch as well. Mark's Twitter is at Poffletime. My Twitter is at Pufflupagus, and you can find me on TikTok at King Goon Smoke.
All right, we will be back. If not next week, the week after. King Goon and the Idiot Brothers will all be. Fuck you. We'll all be here tomorrow night.
That's a different podcast.
That's a whole other podcast.
Okay, so we. You know, I'm done.
Are we about to have 3 podcasts?
Just, you know what? Screw it. I'm done. We'll see you guys next time.
But wait. It's clobbering time.
Team Mingo.
Oh my God.
Pink ladies.
Cleveland Spiders.